All aboard, welcome aboard. It's Callie Jack. Time for one more episode on the Simutrans sessions, specifically the sessions regarding the Pak128 first Honest Try game. I'm looking at my finances first, and we held steady at that 132 in the hole. The biggest losers that I can see are, of course, the $33,000 that's going out each year for the roads that we're barely using. It's time to start getting some buses onto those roads and make bus traffic and other traffic start to feed into the various parts of the things. But at the same time, I've got to find a way to take and make this turnaround. I can't keep letting it go. We're down to almost 4 million in the hole now. I tried letting it run for a couple years to see if it would start. I still haven't seen another jam up, so that's a good sign. Well, I'll admit that might have happened when I was back in. Oh yeah, Chippy's no longer there. Remember that. Don't have to remember now, but we do need to retire the glass one Collier Chippy. So he needs to unload only. The Ips Glass Collier one line is an interesting line. We're going to definitely be bringing that one up to snuff, despite the fact that this could possibly take and run on a lower level. I'm just not as thrilled with everybody else as everybody else is with going there. Telford Coal Mine has been pretty much dealt with, so we're good there. I do need to go back and check the targetings. That's a good point. No, they were already set to 4, so I think I'm good at Telford. I will go back and double check. That might be why I'm not making as much money as I feel I should. Next stretch up is going to, of course, be this little narrow neck where we have too narrow of a stretch there, too small of a stretch. I'll have to rewire the electrical through that, and then figure out how we want to reconfigure this turn and junction for the feeder lot. I like the feeder lot as it is, but at the same time, I'm not as thrilled with it as I could be. So Ips Glass is at full 4, so we're good, and this is full depth. I believe the other one on this collier is not full depth at the other end. So we're going to check that scheduling here in a moment and do that right now. Nope, he is full 4. Okay, good. So he is full length into the terminal. That's good. Go ahead and go to the depot. Find that nearest depot and go there. And we won't ride along with Chippy as he does that. We'll just wait for Chippy to get there. And we're going to go back over here. Nothing else at this mine needs to really be touched. Next spot that we need to look at with the blue trains on it. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's because it's set to all? No. Oh, did we have another train go expire? Good question. Hey, anytime you want to know what messages you closed by accident, skipping through like that new road vehicle available on the post truck, you can come to here. Go to General. And Chippy was the last thing that died out. So, nope, the 040 is still available. So we can close that line for a moment. And this guy, to a depot, and we're going to go down to his endpoint, the Sheffield Glass Station, and take a peek. It is a 3 deep station, but it's got room to grow, so we're going to go ahead and grow it out. And this is episode 26, I believe, in this series. Hope you guys have been enjoying it. Hope you enjoy it as you find it. Even if it's been a while, leave a comment. Unless I'd croak, kick the bucket before I finish the list in the bucket, which is mostly chores. All right, so yes, okay. Let's go ahead and I'm going to put that coal loading station because similar to coal, sand needs that kind of stuff. And while those are extremely pricey, they look really cool. And that's part of our problem is we did go the high-end route across the board for looks. And that might be where, you know what? Let's do that. What was that savings? 468. Yeah, we're doing that. That's a $390 savings per unit. Oh, yes. We're fixing that right now. They may look cool, but we cannot afford it this time. Sorry, gang. Until we get finances under control, and this may help us with finances. We may see a huge, I mean, we've replaced 6 of them already. Oh, there's 7, 8, 9. So 400 times 90. Oh, that's $2,800 a month right there. And on those $6,000 months, that would have gotten us down to 3. Yeah, we definitely needed to do that. And we've got one more to check out here. Yep, he's got one on him too. I think. Nope, he doesn't. Okay. And then, of course, the one at the power station, which we will not change. I'm willing to eat the $400 there so that we know which, because of the snow times, which line's which. And I think I can even put in another rail line there. I'm not certain. Let me double check. No, you can't. Ah, that was a stupid mistake. And there is no such thing as Control-Z in Simutrans. There we go. And right now I know I happen to have the capability to begin doing a few more things. Let's go see where that. Yep, he's entered the depot, so we can do a repair on him. Oh, it's because there's a chippy. Why? little boogers are out there now. Gibbs glass sander, which you guys came off of. And then opening that line again, going to the station list. The other one is still working his way up the line. And with these guys being faster as well, we can start speeding up the rail down the road after we see just how much we're saving. I mean, I'm imagining we're almost the end of February. This will tell us good chunk what we're looking at. Maintenance costs. For all monthly. Down to 17 from 30. Oh, people. Those things were killing us. Oh, that's yearly. Never mind. That's yearly. So yeah, that was $2,200 we saved. So this is going to not be a huge dent, but hopefully it will start making a dent. We also need to start seeing if we're making money on each and every individual line. And let's go to that line for Ips Glass. He was making up to 2060. Let's see what he makes once the new trade starts rolling. You go to the depot. We want to fix you. We want to give you a free upgrade. A free swift kick in the caboose, boys. Run you into the classification yards where the sorting hump can take a deal with you. I haven't looked to see how our opponent is doing in a bit. Does look like he's doing good. His account balance has balanced, though, at it's because it's still growing this year. That's right. That's a yearly. So we can't really look at this until year end. Vehicle earnings are looking good. Profit margin was fairly good. We're making a op prof of about 73. So we'll be adding some more things over there, slowly but surely. But first we had to at least make a dent and slow the hemorrhaging over here. I have to get this under 100,000 before I even think about going back to the other guy to let him expand. Another service I'm thinking about upgrading is the passenger lines. They're all on those older trains, and I think, is it October we get that? Hi, passenger. December of 23. So at the end of the year, we'll get these motor cars. That's what I'm going to switch to. And before anybody says those were only used in Australia, they were used in the U.S. There was a company that made them here in the U.S. They just did not catch on. And a lot of the ones that were made for the U.S. wound up in Australia, from what I was seeing on the web. Now, how much I can believe what's on the web, I don't know. I mean, I might want to give me some books and see. Trust a book because in the back they have to validate their sources. And they can't put, I looked it up in the internet. So that did make that much of a click in our maintenance cost. And we may want to look around and make certain there's not other spots that we had those guys at. That one's good. Let me rotate this guy. Nope, he didn't have one. Okay. The superstructure made it look like he did on the mine. And none over here. Hello, Mr. Chippy. There we go. Put that out there. And you go back onto that glass sander one, and that's making a profit now. That's making a profit. There's tons of it waiting to go back. We've got enough. We've got enough. Matter of fact, there's more waiting to go than we will be able to do with just 2 trains. We could get away with a 3rd train for a while. And I think I can even get a 3rd train onto the routing. It would just require backing him, maybe opening this hard turn a little bit differently. And yeah, we're getting away with 90-degree turns, which a lot of people say, you're not really. Remember, these aren't to scale. None of this is to scale. So those angle sections are actually probably a good approximation of what a horseshoe bed would have in it. We are looking things over and trying to figure out what we can do. Which dairy, though? That goes to that dairy. And we have a line we can cut down to him on. And then that dairy goes to where? The dairy is just outside of there. It's in here. Yeah. Well, the problem is where he gets his glass from. But at the same time, that's not as bad as it could be. That's over the river, and that would get us into the zone that we kind of had said crossing the waterway would be entering the other guy. At the same time, we may want to do that. May want to poach it and say, no, it's north of this point. Same time, Jack ain't got the funding. I mean, he's 5.7 million to get back to 0 in the bank account with full. And that's just to get us back to where we're in the hole in the bank account, by whatever our. So no, he's not going to be expanding service anytime soon. And you can only expand, you can only grow into things a certain amount of times. Hey, you got here. We can get rid of you. And one more for Grow On. And you were on Collier 1. What do we got here? That's the birch. The birch is a nice long running one. So what we're going to do is tell him unload only. Speed line him in. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What do we got here? We got these idiots somehow or another getting onto this line. Okay, I think I know what's going on. He's coming in to take and tag his. Is he empty or full? He's full. He's full. They're all full. Don't care. You're going to go back to the depot and then slide around this way. Hopefully that will unstick you. And we need to talk to this line because he's got, yep, he's got a bad waypoint. Now he should be taken care of. That was one of our big things, looking for those bad waypoints. From when I was in single mode, that's what that sign was about. So we now need to find out who else has got bad waypoints through here. Got me a bad sinking feeling about something. Did we remember to? No, we didn't. That's why those guys are running wild and losing money. And there's going to be a third one, isn't there? Oh, we've got an issue here. All right, let's fix this issue. Take that out, take that out. Get our signals squared back away. And this is a spot where I am going to put my foot down and say we have to fix this issue. And then get rid of that signal. There we go. A lot of this is signaling issues right now. Checking our monthly op prof. We're hitting that 6,000 mark that we hadn't hit in a while, much more frequently. Our bottom now seems to be about 11 instead of 15s, the 14 to 16 range. That's a good sign. We're starting to rein it in. For the year, we are still going to be over. That's because so much of this was done late in the sessions. Late quarter. Last quarter of the year. Now, he needs to be upgraded as well. What are you? Where are you going? Oh, we forgot to tell you to go back to the depot. Race on into that depot. Let's close some bars and some windows here. Oh, now I know what happened over here. Hi, you. No, you. Go to depot. I've got to reassign you. You were actually from the IPS class. Had him on the wrong one. Trusted stuff. Should know better than to trust stuff. Madras oil truck is now available. Milk truck is too. A couple of tankers. I'm going to take and come back up here to our known problem spot. We're looking it over and seeing if there are any more problems at this spot. Is starting to look clean. Hi, you're in the wrong one. You need to be on that one. And just to confirm, yep, okay. That was that guy. We had him on the wrong one. And we do need to take and start expansions here so that we can expand both of these two trains up to the level they need to go to. Doing my notes for next episode, I've got to remember to start checking my signs. Hey, This has been another long episode. I'm sorry. I'm Kelly Jack. Have a better day than my engineers have trying to run on my system.